Hello, for this last module, we are going to go through a new data analysis project dealing with some dental data that I've worked with in the state of Maine. So if we look at the data description, this is data collected from the school oral health program. And what it is there are hygienists that go into schools and they do some foundational cleaning for the children. And the intent is that they will go twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring. So if we look at our data, each row represents a school. So this school is in Androscoggin County. The total number of students is 442. The number of students seen in fall 19 was 115. And the data dictionary goes through. Received fluoride varnish is receive FV. So 115 received fluoride varnish, and you see how these all say fall 19. So in fall 19, there were 17 with untreated decay, 13 kids with treated decay. 24 kids received sealants on their molars. And then this is the treatment urgency. So if we look at treatment urgency, there are two variables, restorative or urgent. So the urgency could be that 15 kids needed restorative care and 2 kids needed urgent care. Now here, they grouped it together. Later, it's 2 separate variables. So you see this TU fall 19, if I go to the end, there's a TU treatment urgency, but in spring 2020, they separated out the R's and U's. But earlier in the first semesters, they didn't separate them out. So we're going to have to do that. And then this is the number of children that were referred to dental offices. And so here it does fall 19, then it does spring 20. For spring 20, it tells you how many were seen. It does not give a new total enrollment because we go by academic year. So this is the fall and spring of the same academic year. So then if we go over, now we're going on, that was spring 20, but then fall 20, this is how many were enrolled. That's how many were seen in fall 20. And this is how many, 48 were seen in spring 21. And so we have 7 semesters worth of data here. Those are all the variables. Now the target variable that the state of Maine the school oral health program funders would like to know, they want to know what is the percent of kids that need restorative and urgent care. Because ideally, if you keep sending people into the schools to give the kids regular foundational care, then the percent of kids that actually need extreme dental office care would go down. If it didn't go down, then there are some more questions to be asked about the service. So this variable, it's called our target variable because that's the one that we are interested in how the other variables affect it. That target variable doesn't exist, so we're going to have to create it. Now, what we have, I have all the data here. The first thing we're going to do is data manipulation. And so I have given you a bunch of things to do, and then you are going to do those steps on the data manipulation tab. Along the way, you can check yourself. So you see this yellow treatment urgency fall 19R. So we're going to take this variable that's not broken up, and we're going to say there's 15 here and there's 2 here. And as you go along and do all the steps, you could come to the Data Complete tab and make sure that you're doing it right. So I have copied things into here. There are no formulas. I removed all the formulas, but you're going to use formulas. Now, as you go through the steps, like part 1 says, at first, the treatment urgency variable was like this, and then later it was broken up as R and U. We want to make everything broken up. So we want to take all of the columns and we want to put 15 here and 2 here, 0 here and 0 here. Do not do these steps manually, meaning do not go like this. First of all, yuck. Second of all, the likelihood that you'll make a mistake is great. Third of all, if there are 5,000 schools, you wouldn't want to do that. Plus, you're not using any of our techniques. So I gave you a little hint on this one. I said I strongly recommend that you use the text to column feature. But for all of these, I'm going to be looking for features. So like this should be a formula. This should be a formula. You can check with what I have. I've removed the formulas, but I just wanted you to have numbers that you could match. Okay, so that is step one. We are looking, we know what our target variable is. We know what we want to study, and we're going to get prepared so that we can study it. Again, the data dictionary describes these variables, but when you do some sort of study, there's often a variable that you'd like to predict from the others or find knowledge about from the others. That's called the target variable, and we want to see what affects the target variable.